Hello YouTube, this is John again. The X is silent, and today we're talking about the Knight's Tour. This is another puzzle that I like to do. It's a good way to pass the time and work on your math skills, chess skills, puzzle skills, whatever. Puzzles are fun to do because they work your mind out, and you feel this sense of satisfaction when you accomplish a goal, right? So, the Knight's Tour is all about one thing: using a knight to fill up all of these squares here. And you fill them up by moving to each one of the squares. The bonus is you get to start wherever you want. There's no reason why you can start here or start there. None of them are better than the others. They just require different moves, okay, to get your goal done. So, before I show you my solution to the Knight's Tour, of which there are countless solutions, I've read somewhere that there are infinite solutions. Little changes here and there can make all the difference. Like in the last video, my 10 by 10 math puzzle solution, a reflection, a rotation, or even a reversal of a solution is another solution. So you could start on square A, finish on square B, and then reverse it where you start on B and end on A. Same thing. Okay, they both count. So I got three little boxes up here, and I'm going to start on the left side. This first one, the KN means knight. Okay, that's an old notation for a knight. And I got a box around it because I want to show you that a knight can't move to any square immediately around it. It moves in an L shape. Others say that it's like one diagonal move followed by a vertical or horizontal. In chess, though, when you're playing chess on a chessboard, the knight moves to the next closest opposite colored square. So let's make our little tiny chessboard here. Okay, so the closest opposite color square is right around it. That knight can't move to it. So it's really the knight moves to the second closest opposite colored square, and every time the knight moves, it changes its square color. Always will be that way, and it will never change. Okay, so all those dark squares around the outside of that box are where that knight can move to. Okay, so if you find yourself in a really close area like this, you better figure it out quick, or else you're going nowhere fast. So the second box, I got the knight right here in the corner of this tiny box. The question mark right here is because inside of this little box, this knight can touch every square except for the one in the middle. You get to the middle by going to the outside, basically. So I'm going to show you a real quick way, a proof that this knight can touch all the squares except the question mark. Okay, so if we do our knight move, we can do two squares, okay? Let's go to one here. And let's make the next move into the corner. That's the only other move, okay? Next move is an only move. Next move is an only move. And so on, and so on, and so on. But how do you get to the question mark from inside this box again? You can't, because from here, just like over here, the nearest squares are outside of the box. So this little guy shows you how many moves from each square it will take to get to that point. Okay, so if we start here, it's going to take two moves. We're going to go up here and go over, or maybe come down and go in. Okay, from here, any one of those, it's going to take three moves. We're going to go up, we're going to go over, and we're going to come back. Or we're going to go up, right, and back. Or here, oh, that won't work. That won't work going there. But basically, follow the pen. You see it's going to take three moves at the shortest. Okay, so let's come back down here. here are our coordinates: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got it backwards because it's cool to be that way. So I'm going to start my knight right in the corner. Patent pending on that design. Okay. Such a luxurious looking knight. So I'm going to show you a way that I do it. And the way that I do it is I go around in a circle till I feel satisfied enough that I can get back out to the outside. But first I have to solve the inside. Sounds a little confusing, but you'll understand when we get there. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first 16 moves. We're going to break this up into 4 groups of 16. Okay, so let's make our first move. And we're going to call this 1. Okay, the next move is obviously 2. 3 is right here. 4 is right there. 5 and 6. Here's 7. And 1 second. I try to take out the corners quick because from the corners there's only 2 squares that you can access it from. It makes sense to me to get rid of the corners first. Okay, continuing on from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to go down to 12. Don't want to go here because then puzzle's over. Okay. 13, 14, going back up, 15, and 16. Alright, so we'll pause there for now. So what's going on here is that I am trying to take out the corners as fast as possible and then leave the middle to do later. Now, if you continue going all the way around the outside, and you can do that, you can fill up all the squares pretty quickly, you're going to find that you can't solve the shape that will be left over. In the way that I do it, I leave about a lap and a half to go along the outside so that I can finish the middle and then escape. It sounds a lot more exciting than it really is, but at the same time, it is exciting. So let's go to the next 16 moves, starting with 17, and we'll finish on 31. Oh, you know what? I messed up because my first move, that should be technically move 2. But who's counting? Anyway, let's keep going. We're going to go to 17. And 17 starts right there. We're going to go over to 18. 19 as a knight moves away. So is 20, 21, 22, 23. And now we find ourselves that we only have 1 move left. Okay? So we have to go there. Now we could choose to do the inside, choose to do the outside. But you see there's pairs of squares all the way around this thing. I'd like to do it 1 more lap, or close to it. That way, by the time I finish the middle, I land on a square that leads back to the outside. It's all about planning ahead, as well as having some experience in doing it. You'll fail a bunch of times. Hopefully. 25. We're going to keep going around. We're going to take out 1 more lap of squares. 29. 30. And I used to do it by drawing lines and dots and connecting them, but it gets a little confusing after that. It's good to see how the pattern works, but using numbers is a good way on a video for you to follow it. So from 30, we go 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. We're going to stop at 36 for a second. I want to show you that every square along the outside is a knight's move away. So we do not want to finish this right now because we'll be left over with a weird shape that can't be solved because it's this square here. One square is missing. And in my experience, you can't solve this because of that. That one square makes all the difference. So, going back to the inside, we're going to have to solve it in a similar way. We're going to go around the outside that we have, bounce on the inside, and go back around. We shouldn't have to change directions. This whole video we've been going in the same direction. This counterclockwise motion. We're going to keep going, but you'll see at the end we'll change directions. We don't have to, but it's just a matter of choice basically at that point. So 36 moves to 37, moves to 38, to 39, to 40. Remember, we didn't take a sharp turn right here. We want to keep ourselves spread out a little bit. 41. Now here I choose to take a sharp turn. I'm pretty sure we can still solve this by going around from this way, but I chose to go this way, and even though just a second ago I said keep yourself spread out, this happens to work. 43, 44, 45, and now you see the squares in the middle are getting kind of thin, right? We ended on the square C4 or 45. We have to do one thing here. We're going to get this square. We're going to get this square because it's going to lead us back into the middle to take out one more center square. And if you look, every one of these left over can be connected by a knight move. So, how do you get out of this? Well, you can go left, right, or up, down, whatever you want. You could start this way, come back around, hop in and stuff. But the problem is this square right here. You can't get to that square very easily. So you're going to have to connect it with a knight move. And there's an easy way to do it. There's only two squares that go there. This and this. So let's do that real quick. Come back this way. 51 is there. 52 is there. So now this square right here we can't get to from right here. So that's going to have to be the end square. So let's go 53. Finish this thing out. It's pretty easy. You just gotta fill it in. 59, 60, 61, 62, and 63. It should be 64, but I started on number 1 instead of 2. Doesn't really matter. That is how you do the Knight's Tour. By my solution. You go around in a circle, you leave yourself some room, you pop in the middle, and then you pop back out. Now it takes a little bit of trying to get the pattern down for the inside, those 16 squares in the middle. You notice that they're all really above 30, except for this one. I had to pop in there for a moment to get back around the outside, but this shape right here, 3 down, 3 over, 4 up, 4 over, this little box here is pretty darn hard to solve, and I don't think I've done it yet. So you don't want to leave yourself with that at the end. Like I said in the 10 by 10 puzzle, you don't want to end near the corner because you won't be able to get to the next quadrant that way. So that is my solution. If you want some more talk about chess and other games, follow me on Twitter at JohnJohn. Remember, the X is silent, because that's where the H died.